Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Dhamma of Peace series number 26. Suitable conversations. At the time of the Buddha, there were many monks. Some following where the Buddha went. Some they came and take the meditation, how to practice meditation. They went back to a certain place and practice on their own. Because of that, at one time the Buddha gave a Dhamma talk on a suitable speech. What kind of conversation the monks should and should not exercise. So that's how it started. The monks or bhikkhu in Sri Lanka called Bhante. In Thailand it's called Ajahn. In Myanmar it is called Sayadaw. So let's call it bhikkhu. Bhikkhu always stay in a forest setting. They don't live in the middle of the town and villages. In other words, in the midst of the people. They stay in the forest setting and with an intention of attaining the 9 ultra-mundane Dhamma in their very life. That is, at the time of Buddha. Nine ultra-mundane Dhamma is full path Dhamma and full fruition or phala Dhamma. Mega Dhamma, phala Dhamma, full 8 plus Nibbana. Those are called 9 ultra-mundane Dhamma. So they are not just looking for having the Vipassana insights. Their objective is to be ariyas, and if possible, they want that life to be their last life in samsara. So this is how they live, where they live, and with that kind of intention they are practicing. And of course, they have to follow the Buddha's rules set down for them. They are not supposed to own any property, including food. Totally above of poverty. Can't even own food. Raw food or basic food to cook, to eat. So they have to go for alms round. In the West, they dub it as begging for food. The Buddhists call it alms round. They have to go for alms round every day in the morning and collect food, whatever amount, whoever gives, whatever it's giving. No discrimination. Vegetarian or non-vegetarian, doesn't matter. Soft rice or hard rice, doesn't matter. As long as it's not rotten and not appropriate for health, so that one may get diarrhea. They have to accept anything that is being given to them and eat. And they can eat only one meal a day, which is in the morning and must be finished before noon, complete before noon. And no leftover is allowed to be kept, not even little salt and pepper. And the rest of the time they practice with the intention of attaining Nibbana. So they have to go for alms round in a nearby village every day. So they have to interact with the alms donor. In other words, they have to talk a little bit, but they talk only for functional purpose only, and with loving kindness. Not a chit-chat, not a social talk. How are you? How's your mother? How's your family? Are they okay? And so on. No. Purely for function of what one is doing. Collecting food. They give food. You give them blessing with loving kindness. That's it. And also, these monks in a certain forest, they live together with a group of other people, other monks, not at the same place. They live individually, separately, not too far, not too near, with their own little shelter. In other words, like-minded monks or good Dhamma friends, practicing there. Especially they are of the similar methods. Even at Buddhist time there are different methods. One is the mixed method, concentration, meditation, preceding the samatha meditation. The other one is pure vipassana, no concentration meditation. They live together, practicing similar methods so that they can get together once a month, meet at a certain place and discuss about what they do, how they are progressing, what they needed, and so on, to help one another. That is a setting for the monks. And on such occasion, the monks can talk. And Buddha allowed them 9 Dhamma topics to discuss at the gatherings, if and when the occasion arose for a particular topic. Not anything but very specific, only 9 of them. The 9 topics cover everything a monk is practicing. It documents a clear roadmap to liberation. It is command for one practicing to attain liberation and the one who has already achieved it. Both are the same. So these 9 topics the Buddhas allow. The first one, you can put the heading fewer and ones. Fewer and ones. What kind of monk walks who is practicing? So let's see what once mean. What the Buddhists mean. It is not flaunting, boasting about your own virtues in morality, sila, or jhana, and samadhi, and achievements of the insight and wisdom. Even if it is true, one must not talk about it. You only talk about it when an occasion arises, when it is necessary. Otherwise, be humble and stay silent. That's what it means by fewer and ones. Even the monk at this stage, they have some wants. The one is, you like to show off a little bit what you have and what you gain. That's one topic. But you must talk if it is going to be helpful for your Dhamma friend. Number 2 is, one must be content. Content with whatever shelter, clothing, bedding, and food one gets. So, must be content. If you have a little rickety-rackety shelter hut, it's okay. Another monk may have a pretty good and solid shelter because someone come and build it for him or donate it for him. Doesn't matter. You are not comparing, competing. Be happy with what you have. Shelter, the ropes may be new or old or rickety-rackety. Bedding may be quite nice or just a little handful of straws that you sleep on or leaves. And the food, whatever the people donate every day, must be content. And also, one must engage in conversation about contentment. How contentment is the key to happiness. Again, too, when appropriate, when you felt a fellow practitioner, one is a little bit not content, not too much, a little bit, then somehow you weave the conversation and talk about contentment. Number 3 is enjoying solitude and quietness. What it means is, it is the situation which is totally opposite of enjoying company. Company, friends, people, devotees, and so on. That is solitude and quietness. If one is fond of relatives and friends, one's parami is not mature yet. So it is just your own attitude. In your heart you felt that you are happy just being alone and quiet. You don't want anybody to visit you, relatives and friends to visit you. That means your parami, your perfection, you has done quite a bit of work in the past lives. But if you are still happy with friends and relatives, you haven't done much yet, or you are just starting. In such cases, one should stay away from friends to build up the parami. Okay. Try your best to stay away instead of searching for it. However, if one is associating with loved ones, children, relatives, friends, because of obligation, you still have obligation to relate to them for whatever reason, various reasons. But at the same time, you are not genuinely enjoying it. You relate to them, but you are not too keen about it, let me put that way. Then you can say one has some parami. And even this life, one can build up there. Slowly and slowly, your mental attitude will change if you really practice. Such a person can proceed to attain special Dhamma in that environment, meaning you're still relating to your friends, relatives, and so on, but you are not too keen about it. You do it because it's your obligation and you must, and you can practice and you can still attain special Dhamma. That's number 3. Number 4 is repeated diligence. Industriousness is the key to all successful endeavors, period. Whatever mundane or ultra-mundane, whatever worth achieving, its key to success is industriousness or diligence, or putting, exerting effort, energy. That's it. Lazy people will amount to accomplishing nothing. So, for the practicing people, there are 2 types of effort. One is the physical effort and another one is the mental effort. That energy that you exert to keep your body straight, back straight, neck straight, sitting posture, and sustaining it without losing, without bending your head, without bending your shoulder, without bending your body. That is the physical effort. Without physical efforts, it wouldn't sustain. And the leg position too. You sit for 1 hour or 3 hours. Don't change. Doesn't twitch, doesn't move because there's a pain or something. That's called sustaining the posture, physical effort, mental effort. In Pali, it's called Cetasika Viriya. Cetasika is mental factor, Viriya is effort. Mental effort is applying the mind to observe and note objects as each arises without failing. It is the ability to see the rising movement and falling movement of the abdomen, which is our key object to observe. Or in breath, out breath, or sensation of the breath at the nostril. So many little variation depending on which lineage you are following. It is the ability to see the rising movement and falling movement of the abdomen and knowing the appearance and disappearance of thoughts, intentions, understanding the nature of the pain while it is happening, not before, not after. In other words, it is the precise knowing, precise mindfulness, and also the seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching sensation while it is happening. not before, not after. That is called mental effort. To be able to do that, you need a great mental effort. And then we got, say, effort. And effort is, the more you put, the better. Yeah, in general, it is great. But in meditation practice, it must not be in excess or in lack. It must be balanced. Because if you don't have enough effort, you become lazy and sleepy. If you have too much effort, one becomes agitated and frustrated. Okay? I won't repeat again and again. These are the subjects one can talk and discuss when condition arises. I'm just describing the situations now. But these are the ones that one can talk about. The fifth is sila, morality. It is the foundation of meditation. We all know about 5 precepts, 8 precepts, 9 precepts, 10 precepts. But in here we are talking about, for the monks, is 227 precepts. One must be. And with regard to sila, how can you discuss? You discuss that ease of livelihood. You can discuss. While you're meditating, you don't have to work for money and slave yourself to put food on the table for the family. Don't do that. That's called ease of livelihood. And when you have a great, sound, solid bhikkhu morality, the news of that monk spread, the virtues spread. You don't need internet, it just from one mouth to the other it spread. And also not looking down on others, that is sila. And if you have a good sila, another benefit you can mention about to those who doesn't know is, at the time of death, there's no confusion. Because at the time of death, people began to think about this, think about that, remember this, remember that. Confused, don't know what is happening. And whatever they think, it is like so real as if it is happening there. That's called confusion. No, simply you just know whatever you are observing and clear. And as there is no confusion, sometimes the signs of the realms that you are going to be born appear, especially if it's a Deva realm. Those are the benefits of having good sila. The next one is samadhi, 6. You can go straight, fixed meditation and calm and tranquility, or you can go momentary concentration, but you reach a calm, steadfast mind. When you reach a calm and steadfast mind, it unfolds the true nature of mind and matter. In other words, one can easily attain vipassana insight, path wisdom, fruition wisdom, megha-jnana, phala-jnana, path wisdom, fruition wisdom, and nibbana, the end of all suffering. That's samadhi. In such topics one can talk. Monks can talk to encourage one another or to push one another for the better. The 7th is one can talk about wisdom, pinya. simple. 13 stages of insight, the 9 ultra-mundane dhammas, and also 3 states without roots and 3 states with roots. In other words, lobha, dosa, moha, and alobha, adosa, amoha. Those are called roots, the root that produce further existence. And of course you can talk about how paramis of alobha, non-greed, in other words, generosity, adosa, non-anger, in other words, loving kindness. You can talk about such matters, and especially amoha, non-delusion or wisdom. Amoha eradicates ignorance, which means ignorance about the nature of mind and matter. These are the topics one can discuss when appropriate. Number 8 is vimukti. Vimukti is called liberation. Liberation. While you're practicing to before one's atichnate mana, when you're lower level of Ariya, you got the path wisdom, and after that you got the fruition wisdom, which means you can dwell in it and enjoy it. Sampati, dwelling in the fruition result. Fruition is result of the path wisdom. And finally, of course, if you are an arahant, it's the attainment of nibbana. These topics can be discussed, but for those who needs to know and without being boastful but appropriate to help others. Or you can ask, simply you are experiencing something and you don't know, you can ask, and one who knows will answer. That's a conversation. So these vimukti are after attaining the cessation, which means extension of mind and matter, upon maturity of insight, vipassana insight, one with firm concentration can enter the bliss of fruition and nibbana. At will, if they have a strong concentration jhana, they can enter at will after attaining 2-3 weeks of the path wisdom. Within 2-3 weeks they can enjoy the cessation. But of course you need a good and competent teacher to guide you. Then it is quite easy. And number 9 is called vimukti jnana. Number 8 is simply vimukti, liberation. This one is vimukti jnana, the wisdom that comes with the liberation. These are, I won't go detail, just in general mentioned it. 19 Pisavakkana jnana, 19 of them, unfold in the stream of consciousness when vipassana insight matured and mind and body ceased. You're not dead, but it ceased. There's no mind, there's no awareness of the body either. No mind, then there's nothing to be aware of. The first 3 levels of Ariya, noble person, reflects in 5 ways. They reflect about nibbana, supreme peace of cessation. They reflect about Magga Jnana, path wisdom that they has realized cessation, and Phala Jnana, fruition wisdom that has realized the cessation. Kilesa, mental defilements that has been abandoned, and kilesa that has not been abandoned. In 5 ways they reflect, and that is called Vimukti Jnana. So there are 5, okay, but there are 4 real. A stream winner, once returner, non-returner. 3 of them. They all reflect the same. So altogether 15. And Arahant. Arahant reflects the first 4 categories, but not the 5th. Because there is no kilesa left to abandon. So we have only 4. 15 plus 4, 19. That 19 is called Vimukti Jnana, or 19 Pisavakkana Jnana. So, very specific what the Buddhas allow the monks to talk while you are practicing with your intention to attain Nibbana. In the olden days, that's it. But with time and generations after generation, it changed. Nowadays is retreat center for lay peoples are being sprouting around everywhere. And whoever wants to go there and practice. A lot of people goes to the meditation center for a limited duration, 2 weeks or 1 month or 2 months or 3 months. In those centers, everything is provided. You don't have to think about arms rounds, going for food, cooking for food. When the bell rings, you go to the dining hall and eat and come back out. Everything is provided. And the yogis are responsible only to practice continuously in every waking moment. And also, they must keep noble silence. Noble silence means, except for emergency, you don't talk anything. So that is their right speech or suitable conversation, only emergency matter. But they are allowed to talk about their meditation progress or lack of it to the assigned meditation guide or teacher for about 10-15 minutes a day, every day. That is a suitable conversation for modern day yogis who goes to retreat center. So that will cover the suitable conversation. So may all of you be able to practice mindfulness, insight meditation, keeping those 9 suitable conversations. Even the lay yogi nowadays, if you wish, you can take up those and keep with you, and may you be able to maintain these 9 types of conversation Buddhas allow, modern day yogi, and practice the Satipatthana Vipassana and attain liberation as soon as possible. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much.